Coming to you from the Freedom Federal Credit Union Studios, Harford County Living presents Conversations with Rich Bennett.
Slow pitch affairs today.
It's probably the least sexy part of the organizing. That's okay. No. The truth is.
All right, so today's guest is Anthony Spark, an entrepreneur who spent nearly 2 decades building success in the network marketing space, not just financially, but in how he lives his life. He's built a multi-million-dollar business, helped raise over $1 million for children's causes, and is a huge believer in personal development, mentorship, and surrounding yourself with the right people. And this time, I am going to try something completely different. All right, so Anthony, instead of me doing the talking, if you had one elevator ride to explain who you are, what you do, and why it matters, what would that elevator pitch sound like?
Okay. I'd say most importantly, fuck the financial success, the businesses.
Mhm.
I got 3 girls and a boy. I got 4 kids.
Oh, wow.
I got an amazing wife. And the most important thing for me is being with family and living a life that has personal integrity. Because I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how much fame you have. That's nice. They're trophies, they're trinkets. It's the crown
Right.
holding. But the foundation of everything is who you are. So that's what's most important to me. What I do is I typically work with performers or people that are looking to rise up, whether it be a corporate ladder, build a business, succeed in what they're doing, to help them have a grounded identity and give them the coaching for success. Tony Robbins likes to talk about you got the science of achievement. It's a science. It's not hard to win. You want to be a good Marine. You want to raise in the ranks. You want to build a multi-million-dollar company. You want to be the best teacher. It's the same stuff.
Right.
It's the same principles. But the key for me, I think that's the most important. It's that art of fulfillment that's unique to us, where we live a life we love to live, and we become a person that we look in the mirror, that we respect, and that we want to be around, and that we believe in, regardless of what anyone else says.
So basically, you're coaching.
Yeah, I'm a coach. I help people start businesses. I help people grow in their own career. I do a lot of leadership coaching, personal finance, because the game of money, it's a game.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that making money is a different skill than keeping it. You know, you make $1 million, you spend $1 million, you're just as broke as the guy with a nicer car that makes $50,000, spends $50,000.
All right, so let me get this straight. You're not a business coach. You're not a life coach. You're not a health coach. You are, I want to say, almost like I would say like a growth coach.
Yeah, the way that I framed it, because I have such a wide array
Yeah.
of experiences, and I love helping people build businesses. And I have a guy I helped start from zero. He was in ministry, never started a business. Last year, he went from zero to $200,000 of revenue, 30-40% margin. This year, he'll do $500,000 to $1 million.
Nice.
He's crushing it. So I do business stuff, and I love it. But I mainly my focus, the unique approach I have is it's really more around success and identity coaching, because
Okay.
anyone that seeks out coaching and they pay for it, they want personal development, they're going to win in their life. It's a small percentage of people that are going to do that. The real question is, are you going to be happy with your life at the end of it? Are you happy with who you are? Are you having joy and fulfillment in the journey, which is a real kind of similar vibe as a Dan Martell? Because you could take the Michael Jordans and the guys that succeed a lot, but if you don't love your life and you're angry and you're unhappy and you can never enjoy it, what's it fucking worth?
Right. You said identity coaching, so more or less like helping them build their brand. Or let me rephrase that. I don't want to say their business brand, their brand being themselves.
Who they are.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, getting clear. What are my values? What's the syntax of my values? What do I want my life to be like? Who do I want to be? Who am I? You know, so
Dude, you
you
got to be busy as hell, because so many people don't know what to do when it comes to that.
Yeah, unfortunately, most people that don't know they don't know.
Well,
You know,
yeah,
so you
that's
got that
true.
small subset of people.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been going really great. You know, I have, you had said, I have 20 years experience in network marketing industry. We're like the top 0.04% success. I make a great, beautiful 6-figure income, which took decades to make. And I have a team of several hundred people, which I love.
Right.
But the coaching's been really cool because it's the same skill set and it's tangential. You know what I mean? I've been coaching and mentoring people, but it's cool to talk about a new business, a new path, and, you know, going kind of from like an agent where I'm only doing one thing to more of a broker,
Right.
which whatever you want to do, I can help you do. So, but it's been great. I started it. I mean, I expect that to do at least 6 figures this year. It's going to be a lot of
Nice.
fun, helping a lot of people.
Wait
Yeah.
a minute. So this is a new venture for you, the coaching.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So
wow.
I beta tested it about a year ago. Now I've been doing coaching for 20 years. I got Dave Ramsey certification, 6 figures of personal
Really?
development, network marketing. Yeah. When you do it properly, it's mainly around coaching and mentorship. It's
Right.
leadership development. It's equipping. So that's always been my passion. But I said, you know what? This would be a really cool thing. I'm passionate about it.
Mhm.
It's one of those things you do it. It pays really well, but you love it. I do it for free. So I beta tested it, about a year ago, had a lot of great results because I want to make sure it was valuable, charged way less than I should. I still do because I just love doing it. And, but as it grows and as it goes up, we'll probably get things more marketable. But for now, if somebody engages with me, I don't know of a lot of people that are going to do what I'm doing for the price I'm doing it,
Yeah.
because it's it's a labor of love,
Yeah, but if you're undercharging, in a way it could be a good thing because you could be helping out a lot of nonprofits as well. A lot of nonprofits really don't have the money to put out for stuff like that.
Sure.
But I do believe that all executive directors and even probably the whole staff of nonprofits should have a coach.
I think everybody needs a
Well,
coach.
yeah.
It's just a question. It's a question of if you're willing to do the work. Because what happens a lot of the time is people, they want to make someone else in charge of their life. So it goes from mommy and daddy to boss
Mhm.
to wife to husband, and then they try to put it on coach. And the reality is, the only person who can change your life is you. Coach can be a really important 5%: strategy, direction, accountability, helping you believe in yourself, giving you the push to move forward and the encouragement. But at the end of the day, you could get the best personal trainer in the world, but if you're not going to do the reps, it's not going to work. You can get the best drill sergeant in the world. If you're not going to do the work to be a Marine, no one can do it for you.
Right. Exactly. And you mentioned Dave I read it lips here. Dave Ramsey certification?
Yeah.
I didn't know there
So,
was such a thing.
Yeah, so, all these guys, I got like a few $1,000 certificate and I learned a bunch and it's good. And I don't follow everything to a T, but I think it's a really excellent starting
Right.
point for people to start to understand their personal finance. So I use a lot of that fundamentals and that framework as I start to help people's finances move forward.
Well, the thing is, too, sometimes you don't want to follow everything to a T because you want to make it your own as well.
Of course. Of course. And you might have a little bit of different vibe, different view. But when I engage someone in coaching, my goal, and anyone's goal, if you're hiring someone, whether it's an employee or a coach, you're really looking for a 10 times multiplier on the investment
Right.
in. So if someone's going to engage me, hypothetically, with really what it should be, which is $1,000 a month, but if anyone calls me, it'll be less than that. So as long as I can provide $60,000 of value, but being that I'm not even charging what I should yet, because it's still within the first year, if I can help somebody save and make $500-800 a month, and now the coaching's free. So if I can help you fix your personal finance, fix your debt structure, get a raise, make a little bit of money in the side business, now your coaching, your personal development has a positive ROI.
Wow, man. So, all right, you mentioned family first.
Family first, baby.
And you've had how many different businesses now?
So I started in the Amway business.
Okay.
That was 20 years ago. Still have that. And then as time went on, we started some different subsidiary businesses that support it. Currently, I have my Spark of Change coaching brand. I still run. That's my main thing is Amway still, although my other things I think are going to begin to catch up to it. But Spark of Change coaching, I have a VA placement agency, Founders Right Hand, to help people leverage start offloading these tasks that are low value to place good talent. I started with my personal assistant, Nem, who is awesome. Started an AI integration and lead generation business, Atlas Minds,
Smart.
which is small, mid-business. AI tools are unbelievable.
Yep.
I'm actually taking AI to fix all different things. For my Amway business, I've developed a bot which can take all my audios and my videos, and now I can train and coach people as me, which takes a lot of time off me. So I think there's a lot of commercial viability in the future. And there's some side things, do a bunch of investing and stuff, but that's the main.
All right. So when you went to your wife about the coaching, because of family being important, what was your wife's first response?
Yeah. So that's an important one. So give you a little bit of history. I started in business right before my 18th birthday. I come from a pretty dysfunctional background. My mom was a single mom. My dad was in prison.
Oh, geez.
And my mom, she did a bang up job. All 3 of her kids, me, my sister, and my younger brother, were all top 1% earners, great relationships, healthy lives. So she's done a great job. But I was working full time at 15 and I'm 37. So I grew up much more similar to you. Yeah.
You're 37.
I got good genes,
I was
bro.
wondering, dude, because when you said you started Amway 20 years ago, my first thought was, how in the hell?
Yeah.
I mean, he's what, 29? You're 30. Holy shit.
37, man. I got good genes.
Amway's still making the good shit to make you look younger, right?
That's it, man. I mean, hopefully I hit puberty soon. This is all I got. But, so I was working full time at 15, but I grew up much more similar to you than the guys that are 5-10 years my junior, because there was no social media. We didn't have, I got a little emoji there. There's no social media. There's no gig economy. So I was going to go the medical path.
Oh, wow.
I wanted to make a lot of money, and I wanted to help people. That was the best I could figure. But I didn't have a passion to be a doctor. So when a friend of mine met a guy that said he was going to retire at 28, I said, I didn't know that was possible. I thought you were born rich or you worked your whole life. And you can make a lot of money, but I said, I'd rather be with my family. If I could retire in my 20s and not have a regular job, I mean, that's my dream. So they were amazing people, top people in this industry, trained me for 20 years. I owe a tremendous amount to them and what they've done. But in that process, I'm a workaholic. One thing my dad always did well is you work.
Yep.
You're sick, you work. The best thing, basically that was the thing. Oh, you feel sick, go to work. You'll
and
feel
have
better,
fun at it.
Yeah, that's it. But what happened was I was putting my relationship on the back burner, my mental health, my physical health on the back burner, and it almost got divorced. So there was a period of time where I had to reorient, where I used to say, I get all my work done, and then whatever's left over goes to my wife, and then, that would have been my kids. This is before I had kids. So I've switched it. So I have my family time is non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Having dinner with my kids is non-negotiable. I don't care my company. I don't care what happens. So I got Friday night, family night, pizza night. We watch a movie. We're home. Weekends, for the most part, I'm around a lot. I might pop on a Zoom meeting or something. So as I add things into my life, the amount of working hours I have are finite. So it's about becoming more efficient. It's about getting more done. And that's another similar thing like Dan Martell, which is a great audiobook. I got a friend of mine that's got a huge Amway business out in Australia, one of my best friends. But it's talking about that you have to have joy in your life. So when I start a new thing, my wife's down for anything, as long as I don't complain about losing money, which I always do if I do. But my family life isn't going to get impacted. So I've just worked to say, okay, I got these X number of hours. How do I get all the stuff I was getting done in those X number of hours in half? And then take that new half to do something new or go in a direction that's more creative or more experimental. And that's kind of the way that I run stuff.
Wow, man. That's damn. And I didn't realize this. I want to get off the coach in a minute because I had no idea that you did Amway. And I did Amway several years ago too. And as a matter of fact, our old neighbor behind me, she made her living doing Amway. Nice house, boat, everything.
Yep.
But with that, it's because I really don't see anything about it anymore. And as a matter of fact, I'll be honest with you, I thought it went away or changed names.
Yeah.
So is it still as big?
Yeah. So they did change names and when they went online, they changed names from Amway to Quickstar, which was a branding misstep. So they went back to Amway about 5 years, 10 years later. So Amway's, they do billions per year. They're a huge company. But they don't do traditional advertising really.
No.
So all their advertising is paid to the people that are going to promote their stuff. So the thing that I've seen in the network marketing industry is because it's extremely conservative minded, it's almost always what used to work. And there's a value to that. Institutions, conservative values, what worked in the past, there's a value to that because that's what's tried and true.
Right.
But as culture changes, as people change, and as things change, we can't only look backwards because then we're going to be selling VCRs. You know what I mean? Like you have to eventually edit. So also it's very demographic driven because in general, people as they get older, they get more fixed minded and they have a certain amount of success and they don't want to go back to the bottom of a ladder. So very often the people that are starting are typically more 20s, early 30s in general, just because of the mindset and kind of where people are at. But no, Amway does great. They've been great to us. No business is perfect. A lot of people like to say this is perfect and that's, I don't think they're perfect. I don't think what they do is perfect. I like some things. I don't like some things, but they've paid us a tremendous amount of money and I love doing it.
I'll tell you one thing, and I'm going to forget the name of the products, but the one was, I want to say LSC, the soap.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, LOC.
LOC.
Baby.
Yeah. Is that, they still have that?
They still have it.
Oh my God.
Man.
Those of you listening And look, and like I said, I had no idea that Anthony did this, but out of I've never found a washing detergent for your clothes as good as LOC. I mean, that
Yeah, they
stuff.
got good stuff.
Oh my God. That my mother had that all the time. And then as I got older, I started doing my clothes in it. And then I forget what happened. I don't even know why I stopped selling it. But
I know a guy if you need somebody.
But I mean, the stuff was great. And then as a matter of fact, after a while, I think they got into like the supplement, healthy eating and all that.
That's where they started, actually.
Oh, really?
They started, yeah. So the founders started in nutrition, and then they kind of messed up the comp plans. Then they started their own thing, and they started with the cleaning products. They eventually bought that old that company, Nutrilite. Some of the best supplements
that's right.
out
Yeah.
there.
Oh my God. Yeah. Man, okay. I need to look
Great stuff.
I need to look into this stuff again. All right. So with the coaching, because like I said, what's the actual title? It's not growth coach. What is it? Just everything coach?
I've been trying to figure that out. I find that either success coaching was probably be the best because we're helping create success in the areas of your life.
Okay.
And if we kind of get too far off that, it starts to become a little bit abstract, but if someone says I'm a business coach, definitely. I've built businesses, I've run them, I've built my own, I've helped people build a lot. If they're looking, hey, I want to do financial coaching, personal finance, for sure. Someone's succeeding in what they're doing. They're looking for fulfillment. They're looking to get, which is kind of very often more executive level coaching, high level leadership strategy, life fulfillment, All
right. So, because I believe that I like what you said, that everybody should have a coach. And I agree with that 100%. And a mentor. I say that the two differently because I believe there's a difference between a mentor and a coach. I was always told a mentor doesn't get paid. A coach gets paid. So, besides your wife, who is your coach?
My coach. So I have a few.
Okay.
So the people in Amway that have helped me for years are still some of role models for me and have been tremendous in my life. An amazing family. So they've really, really helped tremendously. And then I have a lot of friends and peers that I've worked with, and they've become really successful in different verticals, and I have specific people. I've had a lot of coaching and really counseling, for my marriage, for my own mental health, for different things through a company that's a subsidiary that we've, started and have, connections with and done different things with. So I've had people for my marriage. I've had people for business. I've had people for in my Amway business. And then I have people that, hey, they help with social media. They teach you about social media. I got friends that got millions of followers. So it's important you have a team,
right?
The two things that are important is number one, you need to have some people that have succeeded in the vertical they're teaching. And I think the big thing that people miss is they have to share similar values, because if you get like a Michael Jordan to coach you might not have a great relationship at the end because that wasn't kind of what he did. It doesn't. It's not a jab, because that doesn't have to be important to you. You know what I mean? Like you want to get like David Goggins to coach you. I don't know how great your marriage and other areas of your life are going to be, because that's not really his thing.
Yeah.
And if he's happy with that, who am I to judge? But you want to look for people that share your values, that are very, very important when you get someone coaching you, because you're gonna replicate their life.
All right. So one of the things I love for people to share, and even though you've only been doing this not even a year yet, right?
Well, I've been coaching for 20 though, so it's just moving just from Amway specific to more general.
Can you share either one or two, it doesn't matter, however many you want, feel good stories about people that you've coached and how it's helped them?
Okay, let's do a financial one. Let's do a personal one. So
perfect.
Couple I worked with, great people that were on our Amway team, I don't know, 3, 4, maybe 5 years. And they just didn't have the self-image, and they were people that they could do anything, and their capability was up here and their self-image was down here. And built a relationship, closed off a lot of trauma, a lot of issues in their life. And they never did a lot with Amway, but they really got a lot out of the community, out of the mentorship, out of the encouragement. And there was a time that this person gave me, and they said, listen, I want you to have this. And they gave me this note that they had been carrying around, and they said, I don't need this anymore. And it was their suicide note.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that was an impactful one. I got it in my file somewhere with all my mementos of difference. Yeah. So that's a big one. You don't know who's struggling. You know,
Yeah.
you don't know where people are. I'm sure you've got some friends with the military background. You don't know.
Oh,
You
even
know, a
ones
lot of
that weren't
people.
in the military. Yeah, I could tell you a story I tell everybody, but yeah, it's that's what I always tell my kids. It's like, I don't care if you're having a bad day or not. You see somebody, you meet somebody, even if you don't know them,
Yeah.
smile, say hello,
Yeah.
because you could save that person's life. You never
Yep.
know.
You don't know.
Wow.
You don't know.
Man.
So that was an impactful one.
Yeah.
And I got a bunch like that, you know, and that's the thing that I've always loved about Amway and really coaching is the difference you can make, the involvement you can get in people's lives. And then on the business end, you know, I have a couple, they came here, you know, first generation immigrants chasing the
American
dream to have a
dream.
better life. Yeah, chasing the American dream, got all their degrees, got master's degrees, and were struggling, didn't understand personal finance and struggling. And 7, 8 years, they make a big 6-figure income now. You know, it's allowed them to have the foundation for their health. So that's Amway specific. Some great students of ours, great business partners. On the outside, I had mentioned, you know, the guy that I had said that started the AV company. I mean, I think he's got a real good shot to do at least $1 million of revenue in his first full year in business.
Wow.
And he'll probably be at about 30-40% margin. And he went from working in ministry, making 50 grand to, I mean, I think he'll make $250,000, $300,000 this year in this company that he started.
All right. So when's the book coming out, man? Because I know you got a lot of good stories.
Yeah. Yeah. So I actually wrote a book, a funny story.
Wait a minute, what?
So I got another one. I got another one in the works I'm working on, you know, that I haven't totally buttoned down. I'm doing newsletters every day.
Okay.
I got a virtual assistant that's amazing. That's, you know, helping me do that. But so about 7, 8 years ago, I actually helped to plant a church that's become one of the most successful churches in the Northeast.
Really?
So a friend of mine, I met him when he was, you know, at a small church, became really close. This is Pastor Mike Signorelli, V1 Church. Amazing, amazing guy, amazing couple, him and Julie, his wife. So he went back to Indiana. You know, he wanted to bring a church here. I said, all right, man, here's what we can do. So we raised the $50,000 seed money amongst some of my people and had a little Bible study and became like the launch team. Now that's grown way beyond us. You know, sometimes, you know, you get some funny stuff online.
Right.
You're like, oh, I mean, 99% of that church has nothing to do with Amway, if not more at this point. But we started it, and I was having a convo with him, and I said, you know, talking about writing a book, and I said, well, I don't want to write a book now, you know, because I don't want to mess anybody up, you know, like I'm not sure. Maybe I'm like 60, 70, you know, and I really got the shit down. But he's like, first of all, why are you only going to write one book? And he goes, and what if that book helps you become more successful? So I said, okay. So I can be perfectionistic about things. So what I did, he had a company, a friend that took pastor's sermons and converted those sermons into a book format. So I called him up. I said, would you do it for a non-pastor? And he's like, yeah. And he goes, yeah. So it was like $20,000, $30,000, which I did not have at that time. And he's like, yeah, we interview you and blah, blah, blah. I said, all right, well, what if I just send you 6 hours of audio, my own, and you just like typeset it for me? He's like, yeah, you know, it'd be like $6,000, whatever. So I was like, okay, sweet. So I had that convo. With Mike because I had kind of been exploring it and I'd kind of nixed it because I'm like, I don't, you know, that's like, I'll put that in the future. So I had that convo with Mike on a Friday, Pastor Mike Signorelli. So I said, okay, to not be perfectionistic, what I'm going to do is I got all my meetings, all my stuff. I got this early morning, like fitness, personal development club at like 6 a.m. But for the next 24 hours between my appointments, off the top of my head, I jotted down 12 chapter titles and I just spoke because I'm a speaker and I could speak a lot easier than write. So I recorded about 5.5 hours of audio just in between everything in a 24-hour period. I could barely talk at the end between my meetings and the things and the recording. And I sent them over. So I did it in 24 hours. And I did it that way, not to become like this urban legend, like, oh, Anthony wrote a book in 24 hours. It was to be like, hey, I did this in 24 hours. This isn't a masterpiece.
Wow.
To let myself off the hook. So I sent over the files to him. And the guy like takes the credit card and everything. And even then, that was a lot of money for me. But he's like, listen, I got to tell you, one of the things we do is people are always telling us they don't want to buy our thing. It's too expensive. So they always ask if they could do it on their own. I just say, yeah, to get them off the phone. You're the only guy that ever did it. So I was like, I didn't know it was a trial. So anyway, they ended up doing it, you know, and that program eventually became like 40, 50 grand.
Wow.
You know, but he did it for me. So that's the Phoenix Manifesto. And as I say, I wrote it 7 years ago. You know, it says I was like on a no caffeine kick. I ain't perfect, you know, so, but I do think a lot of that stuff stands. But if you want to check that out, you know, I had always said that, those profits will go to different proceeds of different things, and a little bit's been there, but I don't even know if I made the $6,000 back from that.
The Phoenix Manifesto. Now,
Yeah,
how
so
can
that's
people
that.
get that?
They can go on Amazon.
It's on
I
there?
gave you a
Okay.
free PDF. I'll give you a free PDF of it. You go on my website, Spark a Change Coaching. I'll give you a free PDF of it. Sign up for my newsletter. Keep in touch.
Wait a minute. What's the website?
Spark a Change Coaching.
Spark a Change. Okay, because I had Extraordinary Excellence, which I want to get to in a minute.
That's a podcast. Yeah, it's another project.
I
like projects, man.
Nothing wrong with that. Where's the newsletter? Damn it. I'm trying to find the newsletter.
So you go on the top, get the free PDF.
Oh,
get on the newsletter distribution.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So this way, I want to sign up for it now.
Oh, cool.
Which all you listening do the same thing. Oh, there it is. Okay. Grab your free PDF copy of the Phoenix Manifesto.
There it is. Free, baby.
Did you design the cover or did that company?
They did.
I like that.
Did. It's cool. I like it.
It's very bad.
And my daughter's name's Phoenix.
Get out.
Phoenix. Yeah.
Wow, man.
My name, I'll give you a fun story because this is a fun hang loose. So I grew up and, my dad did a lot of stuff right, and I don't want to say he didn't because he did, but he had a lot of personal challenges, came from a lot of challenges. We don't even really speak anymore. That's a whole nother story for another day. But I did legally change my name because my dad had the same name. He had no middle name and I wasn't a junior. He wasn't a senior. But my dad's a convicted felon.
Right.
So it wasn't great for business. So the first time I'm driving, back, you first get your license. I'm rushing back to high school. I'm 17. I blow a stop sign. I'm trying to get to class.
Shit.
I get pulled over for the first time. Now, everyone can remember the first time you get pulled over. You are stressed to the max. You're having a panic attack, right? So this lady cop, real sharp, comes. She's like, "What are you doing driving like that?" I'm like petrified, right? She takes my license. She's like, "Is your license clean?" I'm like, "Yeah, my license is clean. Never got pulled over." So she comes back and she goes, "There's a warrant out for your arrest."
Jesus.
So I'm dead. I'm like, "That's not me. That's not me." So anyway, I thought about it for a long time. My name was hard to say. It was Dijon Tommaso. So before I had my kids, I said, you know what? I'm going to start a new family legacy. No one can say my name. No one can spell my name. There's enough confusion about this. So I legally changed it before I had my kids for Spark. So my kids' names are badass because I picked both. So it's Pierce Spark is my son, the eldest. Twins, Phoenix Spark. My next daughter is Ember Spark. And then we have the 3-month-old Stella Spark.
I love that, man. That is badass.
Yep.
That is really
so it's
bad.
fun.
I love. Yeah, you're right. Spark's a lot easier to say than I'm not even going to try to pronounce the other one you said.
Right. Not good being a speaker. Not good being a speaker if people can't spell and say your name, man.
So you do public speaking as well?
Yeah. Well, through Amway Network Marketing, I've done a ton. And I've done other events too. But I've spoken in Australia, New Zealand, London, Dominican Republic.
Damn.
All over the continental United States. Yeah, biggest group probably like 12, 13,000.
Well, I was going to say, what?
Yeah, Amway.
Well, yeah, I forgot the conferences. Yeah,
Amway conferences are big.
Any idea of whether you're going to do a TEDx talk or not, or have you?
I probably should. I haven't done that. I probably should. So I'll have to add that to the list of projects.
Oh, wait a minute. You mentioned the Phoenix Manifesto, but it almost sounded like you said you were working on another book or getting ready.
I am.
Okay.
It's in the works. It's not fully baked. And this is going to be, a much more intentional one. So if I can get that done by end of year, I'll be real happy.
You will. Yeah. You
now I have to.
Yeah.
Now I have to. You baited me. Now
you have to, but that way you can come back on the podcast and pitch it.
That's it.
All right. I want to talk about Extraordinary Excellence, the podcast.
Yeah.
Now, is that on hold or are you guys bringing that back?
So it's on hold. So what we did during COVID, we were all home.
Right.
So me and my brother-in-law, he actually was in the Air Force Reserves. But me and my brother-in-law said, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do a podcast, So got my friends on, all these different people. I have a guy on there, Corey Rowe, who's a guy that we coached. He was kind of coming up. He was a celebrity trainer, but he was working at a boutique gym. But he's got his whole thing now, got 1.3 million followers, amazing guy if someone needs fitness advice, just a wonderful person. But anyway, so I got a bunch of cool people on there. Mike Signorelli did a few different things, right? So we went through, we did like 55 episodes. It became like a top 1% podcast, really just from people that we know. And sometimes we pop on, we'll pop one in, do another one here and
It's
there.
fun.
But we don't have a weekly distribution anymore. We got all the old episodes on there. I'll give you another fun story that you'll like. So we're doing it in my garage.
I listened to the first episode when you talked about it. It's like, sorry for the mess. But
yeah. So we don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we're doing. Right. So we sit down. And back then we were drinking a lot of white.
Yeah, I meant to ask you about that, man. God.
Yeah, we drink high noons now. I can't drink beer, man. I've never liked it. Never liked it.
Oh, Anthony. God.
I know. I'm a bitch. I'm a bitch. You get your ass
I wasn't going to say that. I wasn't going to say that.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it, man. My favorite, though, is Jameson with Diet Coke. That's my favorite. Diet Pepsi, Diet Coke, Coke Zero. I'll take JMO any day.
I tell you what, try a Irish old-fashioned.
Okay, I'll try that
Jameson, I think it's black. Jameson Black, I think it is.
Okay.
Benedict.
Oh, I love Jameson.
And Benedictine.
I love Jameson.
Oh, my God. It is.
Yeah.
It's good. Anyways, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead, White Claw.
So we're batching 4 episodes, right? So we're doing them back to back to back. Now we're sitting, laughing, drinking, going, right? So the fourth one was also an ex-military guy. He actually helped to handle the Fukushima meltdown over in Japan. So he's got some cool stories. Rob Novotny, awesome dude, super successful in insurance. But anyway, so we're sitting there, right? And we get to episode 4. Now we've been sitting here for 4 hours, 5 hours, just drinking. So we look down and I'm like, we had a lot of drinks, man. So it was like, so we got this 4th podcast. So it's audio, right? Mm-hmm. So me and Shaw, we're hammered. We're hammered at this point. So, but we get through, but it's like you kind of, you say your thing. You're like, so if you listen to that episode 4, I think we covered it pretty well. I don't know if I've ever came on a podcast and say that, but me and Sean are hammered on that one.
One of the things that scares me, a lot of my co-hosts have been bugging me that we should do a podcast going to all the different breweries around here.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, number one, we'd have to have a designated driver if we did it. I said, and number 2, I mean, I don't know, because as we're driving and we're trying all this different stuff, by the time we get to the ain't nobody gonna understand a damn word we say. It could be fun, but
it would be fun.
I think the breweries may get pissed at us because by the 3rd one, we're not going to be able to taste the difference of beers.
Fuck them. It'd be a fun time. You should do it. I'll listen.
I'm actually thinking, me and my buddies have been kicking this idea around about starting another podcast about, sampling bourbon and just, bourbon and bullshit.
I love it. There is, when you go a niche, Rich, like I just had an email from the school community. Let me actually say, this is crazy, and I don't use school yet. I think I'm going to use them for some of my courses.
For those of you listening, when Anthony's talking about school, it's SKOOL. It's a website.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
Alex.
Alex is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, Alex Hermosi did it. So check this out. They just sent out, it's great marketing. So here's 11 examples of weird groups making money. You got drum and bass DJs, $1,100 a month. Bird watching in Costa Rica, $1,500 a month of revenue.
Wow.
Charge people $200 for haircuts, $10,000 a month. Stranger Things acting tips, $25,000 a month. Golden ratio frequencies, I don't even know what that is, $11,000 a month. So you can make money doing so. Here's the thing: people, they don't ship, they don't try, they're afraid to fail, they're afraid about being perfect. I talk to my clients all the time. I got some clients they really didn't have a lot of self-confidence. Over a year and a half of work with them, they both wrote a book last year, both launched a business, saving for a house, making more money in their job. You just got to go for shit.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. How do you get qualified to do a podcast? You just fucking do it. That's how you get qualified.
Oh, when I started my business, everybody thought I was nuts because I wanted to start a good news website. That was it. Strictly local. Granted, it was hard because it's hard to find good news, to be honest with you. And that was in 2012. And then 2015 is when I launched the podcast. And back then, a lot of people didn't know what a podcast was.
Yep.
And
that's a long time ago. You were early.
Yeah. And it was monetizing it before I even recorded the first episode.
I love
because
it. That's a businessman right there, baby.
And this is something I tell podcasters. You know, a lot of podcasters are starting because they want to make money. There's a lot of hobbyists like yourself.
Yeah.
And my thing is, if you want to do it to make money, number one, it's a business. So
Yes.
you should have a business plan. If you don't have a business plan, then you're not going to succeed at the podcast. And that's what you got to look at. And you got to think outside the box. Ignore the downloads, because you hear the so-called experts say you got to have so many downloads before you monetize. Bullshit.
No, totally.
You got to think outside the box. Go out there and
Yep.
Yeah, God. Yeah, you guys got to start that back. Better yet, I think there's a whole podcast you can even start on with yourself on coaching.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That might be a direction I go.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
Yeah, and you've been married how long?
So I've been with my wife for 17 years.
17
and we've been married
years.
for 13.
Okay. And 4 kids.
Yeah.
I think I see both of you being marriage coaches. Better yet, family coaches.
Yeah. Yeah. My wife has no interest in really doing well. She does a little, but she doesn't want to be out here. She's like, leave me alone.
Mine's the same way, man.
Leave me alone, man. It's actually usually good, Rich, right? Because when you get 2 crazy people, it's wild. One person's like, you go be crazy. I'll handle shit over here.
Yeah, my wife's like, no, I don't want to be. I told her the other day, I said, I think you ought to come on the podcast. She goes, for what?
She's like, no fucking way.
Yeah. I said, well, I mean, think about it. We got stories. We could talk about how we make such, we've been married almost 30 years.
I love it.
She goes, bullshit.
Yep. Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, fine. Never mind that. But she won't even
Try
listen.
again later.
She won't even listen to it anyway. So.
Oh, my wife says the same thing. I'd be like, did you read that newsletter? She's like, I live with you. I hear your shit all the time. I ain't fucking listening to your podcast.
My wife's like, did you get rid of the Baltimore accent yet? And I said, no, I'm from here. I can't. It's like,
no. No. That's part of the whole vibe. That's part of the character.
God.
That's it.
All right. So, Anthony. Actually, God, I could sit here and talk with you for hours, but
this is fun. I'm having a good time.
White Claws. All right, I might have to start. I might have to change it from bourbon and White Claws and bullshit.
There you go. High Noons. High Noons weren't out back then. High Noons are way better.
Isn't the High Noon vodka based?
High Noons is vodka. The White Claw kind of gives you kind of, it's like malt. It's like. Yeah, it's not. Hey, they're good for what you need if you're on the beach or something. But High Noon is superior, in my opinion.
The first time I saw a White Claw, my son came over with his fiance, and we were having. We love just pulling out the grills out front. We all the neighbors get together, we cook out.
That's awesome.
And I said, "What the hell is this shit?" He's like, "Oh, we're White Claws." I said, "What's a White Claw?" He said, "I'll try it." And I tried it. I was like, "Yeah, no, not for me." And then the next time he came over, I think he brought Truly.
Oh, those are worse.
Oh yeah, they're definitely fruitier. I think.
I don't like those ones.
Okay, well, this ain't as bad.
You like the Trulies better? Yeah, it's a different vibe.
But I still can't.
Surfsides are good. Iced tea vodka, Surfsides. Those are good in the summer.
That's what my daughter likes.
Those are
She likes the Surfside. Now, if I'm drinking beer, Sam Adams is my favorite.
I get it.
Otherwise, bourbon. You give me a good old fashioned, and I mean a good. We experiment when we get together. We experiment, and I think the last time I made smoked lavender old fashions for everybody, and at first they're like, lavender, really? I was like, trust me, just try it.
Yeah,
refreshing. Very refreshing. So
we always do. We have a little Christmas party with some friends. We always do a cock off. It's like a cocktail contest, So we have like grading, It's fun. You should do that. You guys have fun with that.
Well, we used to have because I had 7 grills in my backyard, so we would have cook-offs. And the last time we did it was a few years ago. We had a chili cook-off, so that we couldn't do on the grill. But what we want. Have you ever watched Chopped?
Yeah.
All right. So we've been kicking that idea around about doing something like that. But I love the idea of cocktails because
it's fun.
Oh, my one neighbor, he made. I'm not a big Scotch fan, but he made a thing called penicillin, which I believe is 2 different scotches, lemon juice, and ginger.
Okay.
Oh my God, it was refreshing. It was
I love
very
it.
refreshing. But I know everybody would say, because by trade, after the Marine Corps, I became a professional mixologist, so they'll probably like,
There you
"No,
go.
no, you got the upper hand. I'll judge. I don't care. I'll
Yeah.
taste all the drink."
That's it. That's fine. Hey, that's what I did this year. I said, "You make them, I'll drink them."
All right, so
My wife did it.
Anthony, I gotta tell you, man, that elevator pitch is the first time I really tried this, but I saw us getting off the elevator, sitting down to have some coffee or White Claws, because it was that damn good.
Oh, well,
You
thank you.
hooked me
Thank you.
in, and I had since I love the fact that well, it's an elevator pitch because we didn't
Yeah.
do like a pre-talk or anything. It was through that whatever
Yeah.
when you said find a guest. But it's fun and I learned a lot and you
Yeah.
got me signed up for your newsletter already.
I love it. I'm glad to have you, man. I'm glad to have you.
But-
Hopefully you like
Oh.
it. Easy sign you up. Hopefully it's good.
Oh, I'm sure it will be. But before I get to my last question, is there anything you would like to add? Besides, everybody needs to sign up and hire Anthony as a coach.
I love to. Be a privilege, you know? And I will give a disclaimer. I don't want to just sell people shit.
Right.
So we book a call. We make sure it makes sense. We make sure that we have the right vibe. The thing with coaching is a lot of people say that's a good coach. It's a bad coach. It's just different. Different people need different
Gotta
things.
connect.
You listen to this podcast. I'm not a buttoned up corporate guy. And if you want someone that's going to be, I'm not saying they're better, I'm worse, I'm better. It's just you got to find the right person.
Right.
You know? But I'd love to chat. And if I could add value, we could meet. I love it. You could tell. So the thing I'll say, and the whole context of this podcast, making money is great, and it's important to support your life. But the most important thing is having fun,
Mm-hmm.
enjoying your life. You know, I've seen so many people that create so much success, and they are miserable, and then they're more miserable. And it is just such a waste of life. You
Mhm.
have to live a life you love to live. And if there's elements of your life you don't love, you got to sack up and be responsible to work on fixing it and get some help or get some encouragement or learn a new skill. You know, my marriage has been terrible. It's the best thing in my life now. I sucked at Amway and I got really good at it. I started some new companies. Some of them failed. I lost $100,000 in investment. I've made $100,000. You
Mhm.
learn.
Gotta fail to
You know,
succeed.
you learn, but have fun, enjoy your life,
Mhm.
laugh a lot, have good stories to share. And
Yes.
ultimately, at the end of the day, if you could laugh around a cook-off and you got good friends, you got neighbors you can cook with, you got people you love, you got your family, the money can come and go, but that's the thing that life's really about.
Exactly. I love that. All right. So pick a number between 1 and 5.
3.
3. All right. I got to get to that block. Block number 3. Okay. Uh-huh. All right. Now pick a number between 41 and 60.
52.
You said 52?
52.
You know what? This is good, especially since you lied to me and told me you were 37, and I still believe you're 27. But with everything you've been through, this is a great question. What is something you've come to appreciate more as you've gotten older?
Time that you intentionally aren't busy. I was busy, do, task, quiet, cup of coffee. A lot of us chase these peak moments. You think being on a yacht, you think achieving that $1 million goal, that $10 million goal. You think that the day of the wedding, you think that, you know, that promotion, that stuff is so fleeting.
Mm-hmm.
The real joy of life is the moments every day that most of the time you disregard. A quiet cup of coffee on the chair, read a book, laugh with your wife, your partner. It's the time that you're not busy, in my opinion. That's the most valuable. Laughing with your kids. See, a lot of guys, a lot of men particularly, they fill their life so much, then they have time for their kids and their wife, but they don't have any oh, look, we got balloons. They got time and balloons, but they don't have any emotional margin. And they're not there. They can't play. They can't listen because they're exhausted. You got to leave margin in your life. You know, if you just make money or you just win, you just succeed, you win the game, you're number one football guy, you're number one business guy, number one sales guy, it's really not worth nearly as much as being present with your family and enjoying your life.
All right, for those of you listening, if you're wondering what Anthony's talking about when he said the balloons, he's on a Mac computer. And I guess
Yeah.
whenever you do something with,
I think it's a peace sign.
okay,
Maybe. Yeah, it's a peace sign. There it is.
I've seen that happen with a lot of people I've been talking to virtually, and all these things emojis and everything will start popping up there. And at first, if it's our first time on, they have no idea what happened.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, it's good. Well, Anthony, I want to thank you so much. Those of you listening, make sure that you go to the website, sparkachangecoaching.com, sign up for the newsletter, get the book, The Phoenix Manifesto. And you know what I'm all, all of you are going to, you know what I'm going to say about the book. After you read it, leave a full review. Tell other people to get it. Anthony, man, this has been fun. And I know we're going to be talking again, but
I can't wait.
I'm looking at the time. It's almost high noon.
We better go. We better go get some liquid lunch, baby.
Anthony, thanks a lot, brother.
Oh, God bless, Rich. Thanks for having me. And make sure, as a last thing, if you didn't stop, which you didn't, message Rich. Rich been doing this for 10 years. Send him a message. There's so many people that listen to this podcast. You get tremendous value, and you're like, that was helpful. That was great. That changed. Message him.
Yeah.
Because that goes a long way.
It does. And I love hearing the responses, too, and it gives me an idea of who to get on. And
That's
everything.
it.
So
that's it. So reach out.